let's move from defense to the offensive side of the football. Now, we were talking about everybody being gone in the secondary, that corner and star room, and there's a lot of returning pieces certainly within this running back room. Let's talk about the losses. Jordan James. That's the significant loss in this running back room for the Oregon Ducks. Last season, of course, he was the guy in the backfield, over 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, second team all Big Ten. He was a fifth-round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers. There was other like walk-on type of guys, certainly lesser-known guys like Brinson Cobbins graduated, Ellis Bynum transferred to Prairie View A&M, but obviously Jordan James is the loss. And what did they do? They went out and got a guy that's at the very least equally as good in Mekhi Hughes. Over 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns the past 2 seasons at Tulane. And, they just got the number one running back in the transfer portal. You lose a guy that's been very effective the past couple of years. You bring in a guy that's maybe expected to be a bell cow yet again. This running back room is loaded with talent. There's a lot of guys fighting for carries, and that's going to be a big storyline, I think, to play out during fall camp as well. I tend to believe that Mekhi Hughes is certainly going to reprise that Jordan James role this season. But I look to Noah Whittington, I look to Dink Riggs, and I think it is going to be a big fall camp for them because I think it's an overarching storyline within this running back room that everybody's fighting for carries. Rashad Sample said it during the spring. We need to call the NCAA and see if we can play with more than one football. Because how am I going to get these guys the ball? Like, that really speaks to the confidence that the position coach, Rashad Samples, has within this group. Can Noah Whittington push Mekhi Hughes? Can this be a 1A and a 1B situation? I said in my bold predictions, it says no 1,000-yard rusher, similar to what Ohio State was last year. Can Mekhi Hughes be Travion Henderson? Can Noah Whittington be Quinshon Judkins? Can they get to that room where it's like, hey, one guy rushes for 950, another guy rushes for like 825 or something like that? Or is Mekhi Hughes still getting the yardage or possibly more that he had at Tulane? A healthy Noah Whittington is a really good Noah Whittington. I've said it many times before. I think he's one of the best 1B type of backs in the country. I'm glad that Oregon went out and got Mekhi Hughes. I'm not saying that Noah Whittington could not have replaced, what Jordan James was, but maybe he could have. But I certainly feel a lot more comfortable and I feel a lot better with Hughes within this room. The guy I think that's garnering a lot of buzz throughout the spring and even before spring as well was Dejon Riggs, Dink Riggs. There was a few games where he got in last season, specifically during Washington. Man, when he got the ball, he ran with a lot of pop. He ran with a lot of explosiveness. And there's a lot of people within the building in Eugene that are really excited with what he can provide. He's a redshirt freshman. And we know he's a redshirt freshman, and he's going up against a guy that is a father that has a son. There's a big maybe lifestyle difference certainly within those two. But can Riggs push Noah Whittington in a 2A and 2B type of situation where you would have Mekhi Hughes as the bell cow and then maybe you split carries there? I think fall camp is going to go a long way, I think, to determine where each one of these guys really sits and what the run game really is going to look like in terms of how the carries are divvied up. But I really feel strongly that these are the three guys at the top. It's going to be Hughes, it's going to be Whittington, it's going to be Riggs. Okay, but how exactly are those three all going to play in with who's going to get a majority of the carries? I'm really excited because I think all three of those guys are really, really talented, especially the experienced guys at the top with Hughes and with Whittington. Whittington showed up. He showed some big-time burst in the spring game. I think that he could have maybe his best season as a Duck running back. He had 779 yards a few years. I think that was 2022 maybe. I think it was his first season at Oregon after transferring over from Western Kentucky. So can he have that type of year? Fall camp, if he can impress and really show what he can do during fall camp, maybe he could get into some of those carries that Hughes is getting. Either way, I'm very confident no matter what happens during fall camp that these guys are going to be able to tout the rock, and this could be one of the best rushing seasons for Oregon in recent memory. I talk about fighting for roles, fighting for carries. You look at the next two guys, Jaden Lamar and Jay Harris, I think they're going to be fighting for roles. I don't think either one of those guys is really going to break that top three in terms of a guy that can consistently get carries at the level that those guys are going to. But I think both these guys could really carve out roles in specific situations. Rashad Sample said it during the spring. Jaden Lamar has excellent long speed. You get him out into space, and not a lot of guys can catch him. There's a couple examples of that. Last year, they swing it out on a pass. Dylan Gabriel finds Lamar during the Oregon State game, and he outruns all the Beavers down the sidelines. Look at the spring game this year, right? He scored that first touchdown. He found the hole, found the gap, and he outruns everybody on his way to the end zone. So how do they get him involved in space? We'll see what he can do within fall camp to prove that he can really provide that spark and provide that role going forward. Jay Harris, I think, is more of a short yardage, certainly type of guy, and we'll see because, man, Mekhi Hughes, he's a bulky dude. He's a bulky dude that can get those tough yards. We know what Mekhi Hughes, remember that game against Illinois where he just ran somebody over? We know there are physical runners within this Oregon team. So where exactly does Jay Harris carve out that role, and what does fall camp do to kind of set where he's going to be? I think in 2025 is important for him. And then I look at these true freshmen. That's what do we got already? We got what, 5 guys? Yeah, 5 guys. There's 7 guys total in this room. I would be very surprised, barring injury. I would be surprised if both these guys don't redshirt. I think both of these guys are going to play in 4 or less games this season. You got the Thunder, the modern-day kid that is Davison. You got the Lightning that is De'Aaron Hill. I think these guys have a bright future in the running back room for Oregon. But, man, there's just, like I said at the beginning, this room is just loaded with talent. I am so excited, maybe more than a lot of things, of what this run game can do this season.